November 4th, 1922, a team of archaeologists breaks through a sealed door that has not been touched in 3,000 years. Inside, solid gold. Everywhere. The greatest treasure ever found. And then, one by one, the people who open that door start dying. Mysteriously. Suddenly. Without explanation. Was it a curse? Was it science? Or was it something nobody has been able to fully explain, even in 2026? Okay, so here's the thing about Tutankhamun. Before 1922, nobody cared about him. At all. He became pharaoh at just 9 years old. Ruled for less than 10 years. Died at 19. And was buried so quickly in such a small tomb that historians basically forgot he existed. And that is exactly what saved him. Every other pharaoh's tomb in the Valley of the Kings had been looted, robbed thousands of years ago. But Tutankhamun's tomb, because nobody remembered it was there, sat completely untouched, perfectly sealed, for 3,300 years, until a stubborn British archaeologist named Howard Carter refused to give up. Carter had spent years, searching the Valley of the Kings, convinced something was still hidden there. Everyone told him to stop, that there was nothing left to find. And then on November 4th, 1922, his workers uncovered a step, just one stone step, cut into the rock. And Carter knew this was it. So here's where it gets genuinely jaw-dropping. Carter digs down the steps, finds a sealed door, breaks a small hole through it, holds up a candle, and peers inside. His boss, Lord Carnarvon, is standing right behind him, unable to contain himself. He asks, "Can you see anything?" And Carter, who has just seen something no human has seen in 3,000 years, whispers back, "Yes, wonderful things." What he saw was 5,000 objects, gold beds, golden chariots, jeweled daggers, statues, furniture, and at the center of it all, the pharaoh himself, protected by 4 shrines nested inside each other, 3 coffins nested inside those, and the innermost coffin, made of solid gold, weighing over 100 kilograms, pure solid gold, and on the pharaoh's face, the most famous object ever found in any tomb anywhere in the world, the golden mask of Tutankhamun, staring up at Carter through the darkness. After 3,000 years of silence, the world went absolutely insane when the news broke. But within months, something else started happening, something nobody could explain. Okay, so Lord Carnarvon, the man who funded the entire excavation, the man standing right behind Carter when he first peered through that hole, died 4 months after the tomb was opened. A mosquito bite on his face became infected, led to blood poisoning. He was gone, and the newspapers went wild. "The pharaoh's curse," they screamed. And then it kept happening. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, the radiologist who X-rayed the mummy, died mysteriously in 1924. Arthur Mace, one of Carter's excavation team, died in 1928. Carter's secretary Richard Bethel, found dead in his bed in 1929. Smothered. His father committed suicide in 1930. George J. Gould visited the tomb, developed a fever, dead shortly after. Carter's friend Sir Bruce Ingram received artifact from the tomb as gifts. His house burned down. They rebuilt it. Then it flooded. One by one, people connected to this tomb met strange ends. And here's the thing that makes your skin crawl. On the very day Carter opened the tomb, his canary was eaten by a cobra inside his own house. The cobra, the royal symbol of the Egyptian pharaoh, the one worn on the king's crown to strike down his enemies. Coincidence? Maybe, but try telling that to the people who were there. So here's where science tries to step in, and it gives some answers, but not all of them. The British Medical Journal did a study in 2002, looked at 44 Westerners who were in Egypt when the tomb was examined, compared survival rates of those who entered the tomb versus those who did not, and found no significant difference. The people who entered the tomb lived just as long as those who did not. Carnarvon was already chronically ill before he ever set foot near the tomb. Some scientists suggested toxic mold or bacteria on the tomb walls could have caused deaths. But experts dismissed this too, because the people who died months or years later. Not immediately. And Howard Carter himself, the man who opened the tomb, the man who spent more time inside it than anyone, lived another 16 years after the discovery, dying peacefully at age 64 in 1939. If there was a curse, it completely forgot about the most important person. And yet, people connected to that tomb kept dying in strange ways. The cobra ate the canary on the exact day the tomb opened. No curse was ever actually found written inside the tomb. But something about this story refuses to be fully explained. And that right there is what makes it impossible to forget. So here's where we actually are. Tutankhamun, a forgotten boy king who died at 19, turned out to be the most famous pharaoh in history. Not because of anything he did in life, but because of what happened after his tomb was opened. The greatest treasure ever found, the most famous golden mask in the world, and a series of strange deaths that science has mostly explained but never fully explained. The curse is probably not real, but probably is not the same as definitely. And in the space between those two words, 3,000 years of ancient Egypt still holds its secrets. And that right there is exactly why this story needed to be told.